Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Kinking Out Loud. I'm your host, Gothicc. Today's topic is objectification, something that is absolutely not okay unless consented to. Objectification is one of my favorite kinks, and today I'm going to explain to you what it is. Objectification, especially in a sexual context, is being treated solely as a sexual object, as it is generally done to take away your anatomy and your personification. You are reduced to just someone to have sex with. You are no longer a person with your own needs and desires and opinions. You are simply just there for sex, as you are stripped of your humanity and only there to pleasure your dominant and or just sexual partner. Part of the fun in this, in my personal opinion, is that I no longer have any kind of say in what happens to me and my body. I think that is extremely exciting. My pleasure, my needs, and my wants are no longer of any importance, and my partner's desires and wants are prioritized over my own. Sometimes part of the fun of being objectified in the bedroom is to be humiliated with it. Being called certain names that really do remind me over and over again that I am an object and not a person is extremely arousing to me. However, name-calling is something you should only do if your partner has agreed to it. Some people will not like being called a dirty slut. It also feels really good to just give in and not have to think at all and just being one thing, even though that thing is just an object for pleasure for your partner. I really like that. It makes me not have to think as much and, gives me a break from the responsibilities of being a human being. I think that is amazing. Objectification can be a lot of fun for both parties as long as it's something you are comfortable with and have discussed in length what is and isn't okay. It's really easy to go over limits if you don't really know what you're doing and you haven't talked about it beforehand. Objectification comes in many different forms. You have the one that's more humiliating, and then you have the one that's more putting your partner on a pedestal a little bit more, I suppose. The difference, in my opinion, is that one of them is more about sexually degrading someone and making them feel like they are just that object. An object to use and abuse if you have agreed on that sexually. Whereas the other type is more making your partner feel like a coveted object that is more or less worshipped. Same type of objectification, as you don't really see her or him as a person, but more of an object to own and have and worship. More like idolizing them and making them up to be something they aren't and taking away their humanity, which isn't exactly humiliating, but it still takes away from the person themselves. Things one can do to objectify their partner would be things like slapping their ass, touching their boobs, touching their dick, something like that, touching their genitals and just focusing on them. Other ways to objectify your partner, either in bed or outside of bed, would be to use certain phrases or degrading nicknames, such as calling them slut or cum dumpster or fuck doll or something like that. And you can remind them that they are, in fact, only an object to have sex with, only for your pleasure, only there to be used whenever you feel like it. Some people also go as far as to refer to their partner as an it, as to take away from their humanity further, reducing them more and more to just an object. Objectification can also involve making you a literal object, having you act as a table or a chair or something like that. In the same vein as this is something called dollification, which is exactly what it sounds like. You pretend to be a doll. Now that's taking the phrase fuck doll to a new level. But I would like to very much urge you to actually talk to your partner about this in depth before you try any of these things. Talk to them about what they're comfortable with and even what kind of words they're comfortable with. Some people are completely fine being called slut, but would rather not be called a pocket pussy. And if you think to yourself that, oh my god, I am a woman, I shouldn't like this, I shouldn't be into this, I'm here to tell you that it's normal and you shouldn't feel ashamed about it. Taking away this kind of power from something and making it your own is completely normal, and I would say even a little bit of healthy. Because instead of losing your power over being objectified, you are actually making sure that you decide that it's happening. It is consensual and it's happening because you want to, not because you are forced to or because someone's doing it against your will. It does not mean that you secretly like being objectified, nor does it mean that you think that women are objects. Being objectified by my partner is very sexy to me because in the end, he does not actually think that of me. I am an actual person that has needs and wants and autonomy over themselves outside of the kinkiness and the bedroom. And in the end, the reason why he is doing that in the first place, the reason why he's objectifying me at all and treating me as if I'm only there for his pleasure is because I'm the one who likes it so much. I get pleasure from it. I'm the one who has consented to it and actually asked for it. So, who is really there for the other one's pleasure, you think? Well, I mean, it is actually consensual and we both enjoy it very much. And you should definitely talk to your partner about this if it's something that's interesting to you. Just remember, you need consent, talk about limits, make sure you actually know where the line goes and what limits are there. And you'll have a very good time. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Kinking Out Loud. Now, I would like to tell you that I also have a new podcast where I talk about things outside of kink. It's called Gothicc, and I'm very proud of it, and I hope you'll check it out. Thanks for listening.